Good morning, and welcome to Drive Time, the best, worst show ever. Mark the Shark on the ones and the twos as we get things kicked off.
Mainly the ones.
For yet another week. Good morning, Johnny Sims. Hot Rod, good morning to you. Miss Gail, good morning. Yes, it did go by mighty fast. Fuquay, good morning. PGP's in here. Good morning, D2. And good morning, Kenwood.
Morning, DJ. And I want to start off by saying something. I know you are going to be ill about it. Not ill, but let me tell you again. What a great post. What a great write-up you wrote about the blueberry. You could tell one of your minors had to be journalism. Like, I said that. I when I read it, the first thing I said, I looked at Jesse James, I said, I think one of DJ's minors, if I remember him saying, was journalism. Maybe he took that for like, what, 3 quarters?
I may have taken it for a quarter, maybe dropped it the second or something. Yeah.
But no, I mean, in all honesty, what a great write-up. And I think you encompassed it all. I mean, I don't know how much better you could have, said it. It wasn't just a word salad, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It was put together very well. And I'm saying all that to say this. I did not make it to the Blueberry Festival, but for everything I see and hear, it might have been the best yet.
It was great. It was the chamber. They have that thing figured out now, how it should be laid out. It just flows. You know, you get down there if you come in from Belleville, which I did. You have the little market park there. They had a couple of tents there, some vendors there. They had the antique cars there in front of Provalis and down by the boardwalk and around the corner up towards the movie marquee. And then, of course, the main pool of vendors out in Jennings. It just works, man. It was perfect.
And one of the better parts, one of the great parts was grass.
Yeah.
Listen, I got to ask because I don't know. I want to hear the fishing story.
Oh no! I've told it here a couple of times.
I know you have.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying I was trying to tell somebody else about it, and I said, "Wait a minute, I'll get DJ to tell it," because somebody was asking me about it.
And getting to see Greg Pendergrass just topped it all for me. He is one of the best humans to ever come through our community. He was a 1980 graduate of T.R. Miller. I love Greg Pendergrass. Of course, a lot of people remember his daddy as being the assistant superintendent.
Man.
For many years.
Great, let me tell you, great people.
Yeah, it was
great people.
Seeing him there was just an added bonus. It was the cherry on top for me. But it was, years ago, I've talked about this a couple of times. They were in my mother's class. My mother taught history at the high school, which was a class you took your junior year. So oftentimes.
Loved it. American history, yes.
Oftentimes those days, there would be some juniors that would, hang around the house trying to be teacher's pets or whatnot. Get a little,
that wasn't one. I wasn't one of those.
Yeah.
Now listen, you know what Miss Jennings? Have I ever told you what she did to me? In history.
Mm-mm.
So I've always been a history buff. I think you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always been one of those. Anyway, I loved that class, and I loved everything she taught. So I would go get all in reading all about it and stuff. Well, a lot of times during class, I may just not mean to and lay my head down.
Yeah.
And so we took this semester exam and I made a 97 on it. She made me retake it. She swore I cheated on it. And listen, I didn't.
Yeah.
But when I took it again, I made a 98. She said, okay, I'm good. So,
There it is.
I love Miss Jennings.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. When you said that, it made me think about that.
But Greg and Randall Huff and Cindy Shanks, Waldrop, and they were some of the juniors. I guess that would have been the 78, 79 school year, their junior year. But they would hang out at the house a lot, and
Morning, Miss Ann.
Randall and Greg took me fishing out at Huff Pine, and the bite was slow. They blamed it on me, and I told Greg, I said, Greg, when I heard the word jinx come out of your mouth, I knew that I was in trouble. And of course, about 3 seconds later, my feet are over my head, and I'm flying through the air. We were in a little aluminum boat, and they tried to get me back up, and I said, I'll swim. I said, I'm here now. I guess I was, let's see, I'd have been 11 years old. I couldn't have been any more mad than I was. But I told him, I said, I want to go fishing again.
Were you ready? Were you ready to tell him I'm walking home?
Oh, yeah. I was mad.
That's when you know DJ is ill, when he's not ready or willing to get in the vehicle.
I was mad.
He's ill.
I was mad. So Greg actually sent me a picture yesterday of he was catching up with Randall, still in town before he went back home to North Alabama. And I said, great picture. I said, really looking forward to going fishing with you and Randall again. But here's a hint. I won't be the one swimming this time.
I saw that. His daddy was a practical joker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They all used to be over at Coffeyville over there with Coach Cotton and them. They used to all be in that hunting camp together.
Yeah.
Coach said that they went in there one night and got some either 50 or 75 pound, like that old saltwater leader test line.
Yeah.
He said this is terrible. He said they tied it to Pendergrass's pinky toe. And then the other end they tied to the footboard of the bed. And then Mr. Garner and several of them jumped up and started screaming and hollering, fire, get out. So when Grass jumped out the bed, that thing caught him, broke it. He said his pinky toe was laid out 90-degree angle. But now listen, he was subject to do you the same way according to Coach.
Yeah, he was.
Coach said they had a big old hole dug out there behind the gym at the high school one day, and Grass went out there and laid a tarp over it like there was just old loose dirt. Coach said he went walking across, the next thing he know, he's looking up out of the hole.
My goodness. They were a mess.
Yeah, they were.
Good morning, Debbie Booker. Timmy Wiggins, good morning to you. Earl, good morning. Miss Ann McGraw, good morning to you. Miss McKenzie, she's my fourth grade teacher. Good morning, Miss McKenzie. Good morning, Powell. Chef Adams in. Good morning to you. Good morning, Stan. But the Blueberry Festival was great. I'm just telling you, it was hot. There was no way around the hot, but it was just when something goes off like that, you know it's been planned. And it flowed. I don't know. I'm not good at estimating crowds. There was a ton of people down there. I hope the vendors did what they needed to do to come back again next year. But it was great. You know, it started for me at the pancake breakfast. The
That's
Kiwanis
right.
Club
Yeah, you said
at
you
my
were
church. I got to see Christy McKendry there. I hadn't seen Christy in a long time, and Miss Page was there. Got to see Miss Page, but it was a great
now,
day.
Christy was a year older?
She was a year older than me.
Okay, yeah.
But it was a great day. Well done to everybody who had a hand in it. Well done.
You know, the funny thing, you talk about planning. I think Hal tells me that as soon as that thing's over, they're already planning the next one. Like, so, and you know it. I mean, by what you're saying, you know it's that way.
They've got it figured out.
Yes,
they have got that thing dialed in.
Yes, they do. Chef Adam, good morning, sir. Stan Whitehead, good morning to you. How was your Father's Day?
It was good. It was on the low key. Got a little gift. Went to church. Stokes was in Boston. He had gone up with a group of buddies to watch the Yankees and the Red Sox play. So I got the phone call, text from him. But then I went and played a little golf yesterday afternoon. Got rained on. Played a little bit more golf and came home. Went to bed at 7:30.
Did you? Did he catch the Saturday or the
Saturday
Sunday
game was
with the Red Sox, those crazy uniforms on?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I saw that game and I was sitting there trying to fix. So I looked it up just to see. They said it's something to do with the colors or like a tie to the team to the city that they're in.
Okay.
That's what it's for.
Okay.
I was like, wait a minute. The Red Sox wearing some sort of blue and yellow.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what that was about. But That had to be a good time then. Get to see
Yeah.
the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Yeah, I can get any better than that.
No, especially at, I mean, at the Big Green Monster.
Yeah.
So, King Kane, good morning to you, sir. So, it did come pretty good rain, didn't it?
Yeah, got a couple of good ones. Got
Yeah.
one before church and one after.
I got my Kinsley James in this morning.
Good morning, Kinsley.
Good morning, Kinsley. Looks like your fancy new golf shirts arrived, pal. Guess you didn't have to push the nuclear button.
Well, this isn't one of them, but they did come in.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
So,
Came in on Friday.
how's the swag looking? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like them.
You digging it?
They're just okay.
So you're not all that pleased?
They're fine, but it's they're not any better than anything else.
Yeah.
I thought they might be, but they're not.
A little underwhelming?
For me, yes. For me, yes.
So, I got to watching a show about collecting, and I know we've talked a little bit about this here and there on this show about that kind of thing. But I got to watching this show on Netflix about something golden something. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, they have just went out and found a grade 5 T206 Honus Wagner, like one of the very first ones that he says is going to fetch between $25 to $45 million.
They didn't know this one existed?
No.
This one has just arrived on the
This
thing?
one's
Wow.
it's been in a safety deposit box in a bank vault for 58
Wow.
or 9 years. Yeah. And the guy that actually got it, procured it, said he had worked on it, I think, for about 10 years.
Wow.
Trying to, like, just that deal. So,
Wow.
I mean, but you fooled enough, I'm sure, as a kid with baseball cards, like, everybody knows that's the great, like,
That's the Holy Grail.
that's the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Okay. And the one I knew of that was the best one out there, Wayne Gretzky owned at one time.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I thought that was crazy. I mean, a little card that, you remember why it is so rare is because he didn't want to be in tobacco.
Yeah.
And so that was the deal with. Anyway, that's a crazy. Can you see that $25 million?
Well, I'll put that in the same line like with crypto. How does it have value?
Well, I guess the only way that has value is in the eye of the person wanting to pay.
That's what
for
I'm saying. But it's at the end of the day, it's still a baseball card.
Yeah, it's a niche market for sure.
Right. But
Yeah.
that you know what it's worth to me?
Nothing. I get it. What I'm saying is though, if you were, let's say you were in your attic,
Yeah.
you stumbled across that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's worth everything then.
Well, yeah, only because I know it's worth something to somebody else.
Sure,
but
but-
like the fact that has monetary value blows my mind.
And it means that means nothing
I mean,
to you.
know,
I get that.
I just don't. I don't understand those collectibles.
I
like
see.
that.
That's what I've never understood about some of those collectibles, like Pokemon. Who knew? I watched this guy do that. Do a segment on that. There are Pokemon cards from back when they first came out, like 2001, unopened box sets that are worth millions of dollars. Now, how is that?
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Let's see. Good morning, Chief. Yes, sir. Hope y'all had a great day there, Chief. And we was thinking about you. Good morning, Shannon Odom. Let's see here. Chev Adams, I got my butt whooped all weekend. Busy as it's ever been on a Saturday. Well, that's fantastic. The camp was blowing up.
Great.
Gotta say, they did a great job on those blueberry beignets. We got to sample some.
Wait a minute now. Don't say that very loud. I was about to ask you, did you partake of any of the blueberry treats while you were downtown?
I had the pancakes for the breakfast.
Right.
That was the and I got some of the ice cream later in the afternoon.
Yeah, and those pancakes will fill you up, won't they?
Oh yeah.
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 Did you eat a few? Or did you moderate?
I just had the I think it came with 3
Yeah.
and a couple pieces of sausage.
So, what time did you make it downtown?
Went to the breakfast at 7. went downtown probably 9:45, 10, and I was gone probably about 1.
So I know you spoke to this. The reason I was asking, I know you spoke to this here a week or two back. The city obviously doesn't or didn't and does not own the old Ideal Cafe. But do y'all have any idea what may be going on with that area right there, DJ? Have y'all heard anything? Or
No, I know that the city did try to buy it a couple of different times,
right?
And the property owner didn't have an interest in it, and then of course at his own expense he tore it down.
Right.
If he wants to build back, he has to go high like Provalis,
Right?
Which will be quite a cost to incur. So I don't know what the plan is.
Right.
But
right.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was curious to me. Like you said, because you'd have to build that thing. I mean, the bottom floor would have to be where Provalis' bottom floor is.
I would think, and I'm not a topography guy, but I would think that might be the lowest point in the perimeter.
I think so.
I mean, there's some low points in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it holds the water,
Yeah.
but that might be the bottom of the bowl.
I think you're right. Because if you think about it, where's that water always come?
Yeah.
It comes right through there, just about at first. So I was just curious because, I knew you had said that several people had asked that question about the city or what have you, and I knew you'd said the city did not own it. But you're saying the property owner, did y'all ask him to tear it or whoever to tear it down?
No.
They just did it.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Any other word on Harbor Freight?
No, I've just heard it's still a go.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good. You like Harbor Freight?
I recognize it for being a quality store. I'm not a tool guy. I'm not a handyman. I can't fix anything. I can't do anything. So it doesn't.
But do they sell? I'm asking. I don't know. Do they sell yard
I don't
tools?
know.
I mean, things to work.
I use that.
You're
Oh, yeah.
handy with those, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. So I know that if they got an area in there like that, let me tell you where I want me and you to go. I was told to tell you this, so I'm going to relay this message. As much as you like and love DG,
yeah,
I was told that the one in Pollard on the 4 lanes, is off the hook.
Okay,
and they it's a more of a, what do they call it? One of those markets, where it's like a grocery store or whatever. Yeah. Have you ever been in one of those?
Yes.
All right. So what's the difference?
Fruits and vegetables.
Oh, so they have those.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, you still buying them 2 at a time?
No more, no less.
You know what's crazy? I happened to be in a Dollar General yesterday, and you were talking about the last time last time we were talking about, you said that you should have known better. A couple of the freezers were not working. Well, the one I happened to be in, there was a section of freezers not working in that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if something had happened, just, I don't know, but I don't know that we had any problems.
Yeah.
So, do they sell pot pies? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
2 at a time.
I think the Bears are living in the ideal. Morning, D-Tom. That may be. Any other sightings of said bear?
That was the one day of posts is all I saw.
Some DGs have gas pumps, huh? You ever seen one of those?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's interesting. I saw BPC in here a little earlier. How was BPC? Was they wide open all day long down there?
I didn't. I was by there mid-morning as they were getting going, like they were entertaining a crowd. Then I was out in the park the rest of the time. But yeah, I'm sure if people were looking for refuge from the heat, all the places down there did good. Camp, Frankie's, I'm sure everybody had good crowds.
Yeah, Chevy Ann says that they have one in Ashford near Dothan. It has gas. I've never seen one of them. Huh. Learn something new every day. I wonder if they have crypto. What if they take crypto?
There's no telling.
Listen, what if you walk in the DG one day and they look at you and tell you that the only form of payment they accept is crypto? They'll
lose me real quick.
I told somebody that you were extremely loyal and that's what this was about. Yeah. With they asked me what your affinity with DG is. And I said, well, he's just extremely loyal. They said, well, okay, like to a store? I said, yeah, to like one particular store. Which store? I said, the one uptown, up here. They said, so he won't go to, I said, I don't know if he will go to another one. You'll have to ask him that. I said, I'm just telling you, I've asked that question. He's loyal to this one up here.
I'll go to the others. I've been to the others, but no, if it's, I'm going to that one.
D-Tom said he saw a bear. Hey, I'll tell you what, all I can say is, DJ, you want to say it? They better be happy that you like them a lot. Because you called off something that and I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It was sent to me.
Yeah.
But that right there, he wouldn't be talking that, would he?
No, I'd probably be singing a little different tune.
Oh, listen, I don't know if that don't go down with the mixtape. I mean, I can hear it now. Gloria Love is playing as we speak. Oh, man. Anyway, so what you got on the agenda for this week?
I'm going to have a fairly busy week. We got to make some site visits to some of the electrical co-ops. You know, storm season's upon us, and the different services that we provide. You know, we have some contracts in place with some of the co-ops and power companies with regards to storm response, and we got to make some site visits this week and start getting things together so we can be prepared logistically if and when it happens.
Did I see correct that there's already a tropical storm that they think's going to form this week out in the Gulf?
I think I saw that.
But I think they said it was headed like towards Texas or something.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, you tell me, is that early?
No.
What's the earliest you remember?
June 1st is when they say it's officially storm season, that through October. So I don't catalog them, but no, it's about right to
I just remember
start having some activity.
I just remember Ivan.
I think here we usually get ours in September, October.
That's what I was going to say. Wasn't Ivan in October?
September.
That's it. Yeah. Seems like that's when we have the worst.
Yeah, I think that's historically when it's been most active for our area.
Yeah. I have read, now you may know better because what you guys do with these power companies, but I've read where they're saying they're looking for this to be one of the more active seasons in recent history.
I think the water temperatures in the Gulf have a lot to do with it, or so they say. So we'll see.
You know, speaking of that, have you ever been a Deadliest Catch fan?
Never.
All right, have you ever watched it?
I've scrolled through it and seen maybe 5-second snippets of it. I've never seen real footage or know a whole lot about it.
I got to watching it when it first came out. Not really, because I didn't even understand what it was. I thought it was amazing that those people could go out there and get on a boat and work like that when you're in 30-foot swells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing. But what's crazy about that, and lead me back to what I was thinking about, you talking about the water temperatures. One of those crab fishermen has these temperature sensors that he'll put in these crab traps, whatever, and drops down, and whatever kind of crab you're hunting at certain temperatures, that's where they like to be. So he's out there just loading a boat, and everybody else is out there fishing, like hunting.
Yeah.
And he's out there, and I'm sitting there thinking, now that's using like technology, but you have to know that man's been doing that for a while to know what kind of, like, I mean, he knew down to like 47.1 degrees. It's got to be that for these king crab. So, and by the way, that's king crab season is open this year again. So maybe king crab will be a little less expensive. You a king crab fan?
I don't know. The crab legs?
Yeah.
I like it, but it's just, once again, it kind of falls in with ribs and crawfish. It's just
too much work.
It's just a lot of work to go eat. I mean, what do
you call it? Too much sugar for a dime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of there to relax.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why you like oysters, just not $33 a dozen.
Yeah.
But they're already done for you.
Yeah. Yes.
So I get that.
I tell you, speaking of watching TV, was gotten me here recently.
And I do love the Deadliest Catch. My buddy Jesse said he watches all the time. I love Deadliest Catch.
Is Dateline on these murder mysteries.
Hey, man.
And the guy that tells the story, the white-headed guy.
Keith Morrison? His voice is crazy.
I can hear his voice, and he just gets me, and all of a sudden I've been in it for 2.5 hours.
Listen.
It's addicting.
Okay. Don't download the podcast then, because you can ride down the road and listen to it.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
No, listen, I'm telling you, I do. I love listening to true crime podcasts.
So is it?
It's the same exact thing.
Is it Dateline or is it True Crime?
No, it's Dateline.
Dateline?
It's the same thing that
so
you
if I'm
watch.
looking for it on the search, I'll look for Dateline podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'll do that.
And it's the same thing that you watch on TV, except they cut the thing and make it for audio.
Okay.
But now that guy's voice sounds even better.
Yeah. About the last 2 weeks, they've had me.
Morning, Donnie Crandell, Kimberly Williams. Morning to you.
Got to break away.
Dateline or 2020? Chevy has a 2020 podcast is the best. 2020 is good. 48 Hours, another one that's good.
Okay.
If you like true crime, and if you like Dateline, you'll like these.
Yeah.
So true crime is like one of the biggest categories of podcasts that there is.
There was one on yesterday. Very unsettling. I mean, just very unsettling. It was
Was it the one? I watched one yesterday, too. Was it the one about the... Go ahead and tell me. I don't see if it's the one I saw.
This is the guy they put in the freezer for like 3 months. You know, a marriage gone bad, relationship gone bad. And I was just like, they poisoned him with some kind of something they give horses.
Yeah. What was that? I saw that.
He died he died over a couple of days. Like he was in a duped state for a couple of days. And then when they finally kept pouring it to him, they put him in a freezer like for months, like 3 months, and then went and put him in the desert.
Wow.
Out in Vegas, drove him to Vegas and put him in a real shallow grave. And it's just bizarre how those things, like a dog. A guy was out walking his dog, and the dog just found a limb sticking up through the dirt or something. Just crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
I saw one yesterday as well. No, I listened to this. It was Dateline. I think it was about a 10-year-old girl. Lives with her family in Texas, out in the middle of basically nowhere. 13.3 miles from some store off this road. This 10-year-old girl played dead for 2.5 hours while this man killed all her family and thought that she was. And then they play the 911 call with this 10-year-old girl on it. She's now 21.
Yeah.
And she's talking about all this. I'm going to tell you something. Like, listening to that little girl talk about that and then listening to her at 21 talk, she said she went to a psychiatrist one time and said, I don't need this. She said, I'm not a victim. I'm not going to be one. Wow. She said, I'm not going to live like that.
Wow.
So that was crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, like you're saying, that guy's voice is good.
It's real
It
good.
is, man. It's good. I'll tell you another good one. What's the other guy that's on there? The Mankiewicz, Josh Mankiewicz. Mm-hmm. He does pretty good. But that Keith Morrison's voice is the best.
He's good.
Lester Holt's got a good voice, too, when he does them. Let's see. Anything made by Tenderfoot Studios is, now, that's if you like to get into the ones that are like a podcast that's like you got to listen to all of them for the whole story. That's what, I guess you'd call them like serial podcasts, where they have or each parts or whatever. Culpable's off the hook. If you want to listen to a good true crime podcast, then you'll be like, what? So, hey, you was talking about that fishing story a while ago about being in midair and in waders. How deep was it?
I don't know.
I mean, did you have to swim or was you able to stand up and like?
I never put my feet down. I swam.
So you was getting out of it.
I could have been in 4 foot of water.
You don't
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I hit the water, went under, and came up. And
you was booking.
There I went.
Well, there you go. So, good morning, Gail. What's happening? Let's see here. I have noticed DJ is always matching the shirt and shoes. Impressed.
I get what's clean, man. I just grab what's clean.
Oh man, that was good.
Or kind of clean.
Listen to Smartless a lot. You know, are you a podcast listener, DJ?
Not really.
Well,
but the last couple of times I've been on the road, I've chosen that over the radio.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: if you get into that true crime, there's all kind of that to listen to. And I don't know about you, but sometimes riding down the road, music only goes so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love music.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just, ain't but so far you can go with it.
That's
So,
right.
Especially now, I know your travel corridor, so you going like what, Auburn? That's about a 2 hour 15.
I don't have to listen to a lot for very long.
Right.
For sure.
I was gonna say you don't want to get into one that's gonna make you binge listen to it, or anything like that. How were the blueberry pancakes?
They were great.
They
were great.
You didn't eat a stack of them.
Kiwanis Club put that on. They were great.
So you mentioned that the other day. I didn't even realize that we still had a Kiwanis Club here.
Yeah.
Is it getting back active again?
Yeah, they're a pretty active club. I mean, I think their membership's probably 35, 40.
But I mean, it had dwindled down to like not very much, hadn't it? At one time,
I think their numbers have been pretty strong.
Has it?
Yeah.
I think about the Lions Club. That's what I'm thinking about. Yes. Yep. That's what I'm thinking about. Let's see. Won't listen to true crime when I'm driving late at night. Well, that'd be DJ.
Yeah.
Tell about you getting on your 10-speed after they threw you in the water.
Well, I did make Greg. He took a picture of my scar and sent it to his wife.
Did he?
Yeah. I said, "You're always with me, Grass." You and Huff.
I'll tell you what, man. You like somebody asked me the other day. They said, when he spouts off all this stuff, like, is all that? I said, every bit of it's real. Go check it.
Oh yeah.
I said, listen, when he's dating and timing you, he brought his receipts.
Yeah.
I'll assure you.
I got receipts.
I said, go check him. I said, listen, you don't want to fool with Rain Man now. I'm trying to tell you. I said, but I did. I ain't going to tell you who it was, but I did tell them if they wanted to come on the show and sit down with you and debate some of these dates and times and places and this kind of thing, that I'd be more than happy to set that up for them. I said, now, I can tell you, you're going to lose.
Yeah. Well,
because I know this person and I know they're not capable.
Yeah.
But they've convinced themselves they are, I think what they think is they're going to sit here with a phone and Google everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Rock on.
Yeah. But again, this was in jest, but the next thing it was said was, I said, but I don't think he'll do it for less than about, I don't know, $5,000. So, and then he started laughing. He said, if he's that spot on with it, I'm not worried about it. So you need to be worried about your money. He's going to take your money, and I'm going to laugh while he does it.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Did you get some of Miss Cindy's Red Hots?
I did not, but I am going to get them when she is set up this week at her normal locations, either over at the B or at the snow cone place. I'm the Red Hots have got me, Miss Gail. I'm just telling you, I'm back on the Red Hots.
I'm gonna tell you, how many can you eat before your mouth starts getting burnt?
They're the ones I've had recently have come in the big boxes. I don't even know if they make them in the little boxes. I'm sure they probably do, but these are like the ones you would get at the movie theater.
Yeah. Little
I have knocked out a box in a day.
Man, your mouth had to be burnt up.
That's over the course of the day. I'll sit there and eat, 10, 15, 18 of them at a time. So, okay, that's it. Then an hour later, I'm there getting me another handful. And an hour later, get another handful.
Listen, they're addictive. I mean, they are. Man. But I'm saying your mouth had to be burnt up.
It not really. Not really.
Okay, so do you have like super taste buds or something? I mean,
no.
I was going to say, maybe that's how you're able to do that.
Yeah, no, I do not.
I'm going to tell you, if I was to eat a box like that, I wouldn't be able to taste anything for a week.
I would love to know, and I know they know, how many vendors total participated in the Blueberry Festival.
I'll tell you what.
They were.
If the Colonel ain't watching,
there was
I'll text him and
there
ask
was
him.
10 or 15 tents there in the Market Park area, and then when you got over there in the main park, I mean, they were everywhere.
Let's see.
I would be interested to know what that number is, and I hope that it was worth their while.
I just sent the Colonel a text, and he'll send it back, and we'll see what he says. He'll know.
I said they had the stage set up where they had some recognitions and some musical acts played, and then the chamber city put up a tent just to get some more refuge from the heat.
The one up the hill.
You couldn't fit one more person under that tent.
Was that the one going back up the hill, back up towards the bridge?
Yeah,
the big white tent out there. Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna tell you, that's a big old tent.
It was a huge tent.
But I'll tell you one thing: you're saying that you couldn't have put another person under it?
No, they had picnic tables under it, and you couldn't have fit one more person.
Did they have fans or something underneath it? Or?
I think they did. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that old thing they tell you in the military about making your buddy smile. Yeah. They was cramped in there.
Yeah, they were in there tight.
Man, I'm telling you, when they putting you on a bus, that's all. Make your buddy smile.
Yeah,
get on this bus. Okay. The Colonel said over 100 vendors, not counting food and sponsors.
Okay, well there you go. That was a bunch, man.
I mean, that's a lot.
I wondered, and they were concentrated more towards the front of the main entrance of the park, and I don't know if the vendors. I did notice some of them. I don't know if all those areas have power, and that's why they're all towards the front and none towards the back, or if that's just the way they do it. But I was curious if they were limited by power outlets.
I know in the past it has been that way.
Okay.
Now, Hal probably could speak better to that. You may get him to call in.
Well, my question was: why is there a wait list? Is there just so many power outlets to put people to have access to power?
I know 3 or 4 years ago, power was an issue for a lot of the vendors. Okay, especially the food, and people like that.
Yeah.
Now, I do remember Hal saying something about maybe the city or something was putting in more outlets, to be available, for that. But now, if I do remember correctly, I think he said it was that they would be concentrated more towards the front.
Well, when I've walked in there, I've never even I've never paid attention to boxes come. I didn't know what the setup was.
Yeah, I know how they used to do it. If I've written, and look, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what they used to would do is the people that did not require power or as much, if they could run an extension cord or something like that, they would put them on further around.
I'll tell you, and I've never been an antique car guy. Like, that's never been anything that has been a huge interest of mine. But there was some beautiful, beautiful vehicles down there.
Oh,
that's probably the first time I've ever looked at them closely and had a due appreciation. I mean, there was some beautiful, beautiful vehicles down there. I mean, beautiful. That's a big. That's obviously, of course, I'm speaking from ignorance here, but that's a big deal to a lot of people. I mean, because the setups were pretty elaborate. So there was trophies besides some of them that have won some awards at other competitions or whatnot.
How many cars would you say was there?
I would say is 60 too many?
No, I'd say that sounds that probably.
I mean, there was across the street there was some antique tractors and things of that nature, but just vehicles that were driven in. I would say there was 60 or more.
I'm like you. I'm amazed at some of the setups that a lot of those people have for those cars, like antique, whatever it is.
Okay, 90. Cheyenne said there was 90. I believe it. You could tell me I was 110.
Wow.
120. Yeah, that was a bunch.
I should have brought the Duramax down there and entered it.
It was
I don't know what it had been. Maybe the dirtiest vehicle there.
There's some beautiful vehicles there. Beautiful.
I can. I mean, I'd have won that one.
When I got down there, I took my
Here's the Colonel. I don't want to interrupt you. There are limited power spaces you pay extra for. We limit it because in past years we tried to go further in parking. It didn't work. Seems to work better staying in the circle. 89 cars registered.
Okay, well, there you go. Good information, Colonel.
Thank you there, Hal.
You know, and the Colonel shared this with me. That the folks at Provalis were very helpful with that part of it, helping get the car set up, showing stuff. I think they fed them donuts.
I saw several posts made with folks from Provalis.
Yeah,
looked like they had a big volunteer group out there.
I think they had probably 20 or 30 of them helping. And the Colonel was telling me that just took a lot off their plate of what their normal responsibilities would have been on festival day. So that was a huge help. But it was just nice to see it all come together. It was really nice.
I'll tell you this. You know, it's a good festival, a good thing, a good time, because it always happens. It's either going to be the hottest day of the year, or it's going to be the worst weather day of the year. One of the worst. But either or, it when it's hot, it seems it doesn't keep people away.
No, it was great. It was a great day.
Miss Gail said her neighbor took the 49 Jeepster. It's amazing. Huh. Good morning, Steve White. No doubt. Thanks, Provalis. Yeah, I mean, what I saw, they were out there, had them a team of folks, and they were getting it done.
You know, I was down on I took my Cricket little golf cart. It looks like a snapper lawnmower is what it looks like, but it's a golf cart. And
wait a minute. When did I hadn't heard about this? Have I seen it?
I don't know. I've had it for a couple of years.
I was gonna say, I think I've seen it, but it's not your normal. It's not.
No, it looks like a snapper lawnmower, but it's a golf cart.
Okay, I have not seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen your golf cart.
Yeah. Well, I took my Cricket down there, and
then it's called a Cricket.
Yeah, it's called a Cricket. Bought it in Baldwin County.
Wow. Listen, it's electric.
Yeah.
Well, I've never. Yeah. It looks like a snapper lawnmower.
Looks like a snapper lawnmower.
Like a
same size tires.
Like a
snapper riding lawnmower.
One with a
not a zero turn.
Just a old school.
Yeah, old school.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and I went down there and I turned off there across from the Willie's building on that road by the bank.
Yeah,
and I pulled in there and there was a gentleman there. I'd never seen him before, and he said I sensed that he could have been security.
Security.
That's what that was my initial thing. He said, "Are you with staff?" And I said, "Yeah." I thought he was going to question me being on my Cricket. I wasn't going to park and walk in. And he said, "Can my son bring his car in here?" And I said, "Absolutely not." And he said, I said, "We keep these roads open, but the parking's on the perimeter." He said, "No, he has a car to show." I said, "Oh yeah, let me get this cone for you." I pulled the cone, and he pulled in there and set up in the Provalis parking lot. Yeah. So in a quasi kind of way, I assisted also.
Yeah, you was involved.
Yeah. So if
look, you're gonna show BPC. They better put you on that damn schedule.
I said, "I thought you were wanting to park in here." I said, "Parking's from out of perimeter." He said, No, we're here to show."
I love it. Listen, DJ's gonna find a way to get involved.
Yeah, let me
compete, baby. Compete.
Let me get this cone for you, and you come right on in.
Absolutely not. Oh, I thought you was fixing to hit me with something like, listen, he has a special need or something like that. I never expected. Oh, he has a car he wants to show.
Come on in. But, if you can next year, get here at the time that we designed for you to be here.
How about be here on time, pal?
These other 88 cars were here on time.
They made it here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Gail, if that's Mr. Harrison, I need to get up with him. He left before awards and was the chamber choice. I have a trophy for him. There you go. How about that? Did y'all have a category for loudest stereo? Or I mean, I know I'd have won the dirtiest vehicle. Yeah. I ain't worried about that. But anyway, what was your favorite vehicle, DJ?
There was an old, I'm going to call it a Scout.
Oh, man. International.
It may have been something different, but when I looked at it, I said, that's a Scout.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite, just because I just love those vehicles.
Do you
My Uncle
realize
Roy
how
had
stupid,
one.
Do you realize how stupid expensive those things have got? Man, I didn't either. And I saw one on TV the other night and got to talking about it. And, man, those things in good shape are stupid money.
Wow.
Would you ever thought that had been that way?
No.
Yeah, because you know how everybody treated a Scout back in the day. They treated it like a Humvee.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So they had a nice one there?
Yeah, it was blue in color, kind of a royal blue. It was nice. It was beautiful.
Did you they have any particular car that you liked that stood out other than that car? I mean, car wise, not truck.
I'm not
or SUV or big.
I'm not a car guy, and I can't even tell you the names of many cars, but there was one, and it was kind of that 1950s, 1960s era car, kind of a
big long
car
body
with the fins on it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of unique. This is the way I interpreted it. They may have painted this for all I know. It looked like they bought it in rough condition. There's a lot of rust on it, but they got polyurethane and just finished it without refinishing it, if that makes sense. Or that's the way it looked. And I thought that was kind of neat.
Like on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah,
they
done it on purpose.
So they restored it, but they didn't restore it. They just kind of dressed it up. I thought that was pretty neat. They had certainly cleaned out the engine block, and it looked nice, but that was a pretty cool-looking vehicle.
Listen, hot. I mean, you know, I don't know what to say to that. We'll figure something out. The old Scouts and Broncos are going for 20 plus, depending on condition. That's a fact. I don't know if I told you this. A couple of years ago, I thought that I had ran up on a deal just out of nowhere, riding up through the country, on a two-door black Z71 Tahoe.
Wow.
1997 or 8 model. Problem was it was about $40,000. It had about 40,000 original miles on it, but the motor that was in it was one of those big hopped up racing motors that I'd have spent more time working on, which I have no idea how to work on. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have to pass. I wanted the Vortec, the 350, the 5.7. Yeah. But anyway, I wouldn't have paid $40,000 for it.
Right.
But I think had it not had that motor in it, had the original motor, it wouldn't have brought that. Yeah. Did you like those vehicles?
I didn't.
I mean, I know you, when you say you're not a car guy, I know you had cars. I know the Platinum is the Fusion, one of your favorites.
Yep.
Did they have any of them down there showing?
Platinums, no. Of course, they're going to be collector items moving forward because they don't make them anymore.
They sure don't.
I was talking to Chip about this last week. I just cannot believe they discontinued that. What a great car.
It's like I always said about a 350 motor. I don't know anything about mechanicking, but I could go to B&W and get a kit to rebuild a 350, and even I understood how to do it. I'm convinced that when the manufacturers, when they finally get something right and good, they're like, okay, let's get rid of that because that works too good.
Yeah.
They last too long.
Yeah.
People aren't going to trade them.
Maybe something to it.
Tell me this. How long do you think that Platinum would have went, DJ?
It probably would have outlasted me.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you don't
change the oil on it, and I think it would have ran forever.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think by any stretch that thing would have ever had some major problem.
Great car.
Because you didn't ever see them in the shop either, did you?
Never.
I know. But there again, it goes back to that same old thing. So I wonder what old Fieros are bringing now.
Not much. Not much.
Patina paint. That's what that's called there, DJ.
Okay. Well, like I said, yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was even available.
Chevy Ann said she thought it was a titanium. Was yours titanium or platinum?
Platinum.
Yeah, I thought yours was a platinum. I know that thing rode good.
I loved it.
So, I still couldn't believe, like, when you told me that you got rid of, like, you traded that and got the truck, I was shocked.
I tell you, jumping on topics, this just kind of came to me yesterday at the Methodist Church. Pastor Patterson was preaching, and of course, it was themed around Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked people in the choir first behind him. Then he actually started at Children's Church talking about your dad and tell one characteristic of your dad that made him yours, whatever. And then he started talking about worldly advice. What was something that a saying that your dad always had, and he was coming down through the congregation, and people were saying something that their daddy had always said. Well, he got to me, and what's something that your dad always said? And I said, make sure you let your older brothers win at least once this week. If I heard that once, I heard it 1,000 times.
Oh, man. That's good. Oh, man, that's good. That was good.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. The bear in the drive time group.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
That right there was good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's going on? I wanted to mention something I'd read. Hold on just a second. I wanted to see what your thought was. Where was it at? Because this is something that, like, I know you probably have. I'd never thought about it. I just got to find it. Let's see. Where did that go? Oh, the what'd you think about that controversial ending with that Florida Tennessee
Florida State, Tennessee
game? I mean,
I thought it was about 50-50.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I could have went either way.
It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Did he swing? Maybe, probably. I don't know, but I tell you, the College World Series at this point has just been fantastic.
Man,
the first day of games was about the 4 best games you could possibly have.
It was.
When you said, how you going to outperform or outfinish the Florida State Tennessee game, then Kentucky and North Carolina State had one maybe just as good or better than that.
Yeah,
great.
Comes up, hits a walk off.
Yeah,
I mean, and here's the thing: they were saying that Kentucky's done this several times this season.
Yeah, they've had a magical year. There's no question. But yeah, that College World Series is good stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, if you enjoy baseball, and I don't watch the major leagues near like I used to, but I love watching college baseball.
I was thinking about when that Florida State Tennessee game ended the way it did. I, of course, thought about Chandler. He'd been with us last week.
Yeah.
I know that he was hanging on every pitch, so I'm sure that he was upset with the way that ended. But it was, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, but at the end of the day, too. I mean, that's why you got to leave it on the field.
Hey,
I mean, just. But and look, they can say it. Let me ask you this: I know you watch. You're a NBA fan.
Oh yeah.
All right. Are you a WNBA fan?
Not as much, but I have found myself watching a little bit more this year, just because it's a little more on the forefront.
Well, okay. So I catch myself reading articles about it as well. What do you? What's your thoughts on this whole Caitlin Clark and the way that? I mean, she don't seem to have a problem with them. I guess hazing her, roughing her, whatever you want to call it. But everybody else seems to be making a big deal out of it.
They are, and I've watched enough of it to know this. She's the queen of flopping, and she was in college too.
Yes,
I mean,
was.
So if she ever really does get checked up one time, I don't care. She asked for it.
Right.
I'm telling you, she's the queen of flopping.
Yeah.
They had a deal, and now she's a huge draw, and what she's doing for the game is amazing.
Sure.
Much like what Magic and Larry Bird did for the NBA game in '80. But she there was a scene during her collegiate career somebody beat Iowa. I can't remember who it was, but the opposing team stormed the court. They were playing at that team's home arena, and it shows the footage from every angle you can show it. Somebody grazes her, storming the court, and she flops. I mean, she lays out and needs medical attention, and it was nothing. Then, of course, the big deal came out. We're going to start, and there is an element of safety there. I mean,
Sure.
when you get people storming fields or courts,
Sure.
bad things
Yeah,
could happen.
that's right.
I get it. In this instance, nothing happened, but she would have had you believe by her body language and flopping that, her career could be over.
Yeah.
And so she asked for a lot of it.
I think so too.
She
But
doesn't-
now I was going to say this though. How much of this is WWF too?
I would say half of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
if you get the talk shows talking about it and you get people talking about it, and then people are going to watch. I mean, I get it.
yeah. I think there's a big there's a lot of gamesmanship going on.
She is not
here.
being maimed.
No.
She is not being. Fouls are a part of it. They're all getting fouls.
Sure.
But there are people keyed up to play against her.
What I say about that is apparently people have forgot the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
I mean, or the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of that, I know we're getting close to, but I got to tell you. So that same collection show I was telling you about,
Yeah.
the guy flies out to see Karl Malone.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what Karl Malone has that no one else on the face of this earth has? He has the Dream Team's jerseys, shorts, shoes, all of it, all signed and all in glass case in a collection.
He has the whole team,
The whole team.
even Leitner.
Everybody. Listen, what was crazy about that was he said, they asked him, like, how did he said, listen, the last game, when we got through getting the medals and all that stuff, he said, we all came here, they all started throwing all this stuff in the middle of the locker room. He said, here comes the people to trash. They're about to throw it all in the trash. He said, my wife comes in there scooping all this stuff, said, hey, if this is going in the trash, we're going to take it with us. He said, we didn't have a clue, but we just knew something big had happened.
And once again, it would be worth nothing to me, but that would be worth something to somebody.
Well, I'll tell you this. The guy told him that he estimated it to be worth $50 to $75 million.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The Dream Team.
Unbelievable.
MJ's
Unbelievable.
worn Air Jordans
Unbelievable.
from the game. So he had it all. And it was crazy because he said that nobody thought anything about it.
If somebody offered me that, I would certainly take it because I know it has value somewhere.
Sure.
I'm saying if you clean the slate and you came up and said, hey, man, these are Larry Bird's shoes that he wore in
It
the
wouldn't
Olympics.
mean-
You want to give me $10 for them? Well, no, I wear size 9. Those 15s are nothing to me. You keep them.
Yeah.
It would mean nothing to me.
And I get, see, I'm that way. I mean, I don't have a lot like stuff like that around. I get that, but I'm just saying, how crazy is it that something that people were throwing in a pile to be thrown away would bring that kind of money?
Mm-mm.
Isn't that just crazy? Okay, another thing that blew my mind: the Air Jordans that Michael Jordan wore in the flu game. You know the game?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what they sold for? Like 1.7 or 8 million.
Crazy. Just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. Good morning, Miss Evelyn. I went shopping at Publix over the weekend. I saw something that was horrifying, several rows of self-checkout lanes. Doesn't that completely defeat the Publix experience?
It absolutely does not. Some of us like to check ourselves out. Some of us like using the attendant to check us out. I tell you what, pal, if you don't like Publix, don't go back.
It's simple.
You go to A&P.
It's simple.
Go to Winn-Dixie. Do whatever you got to do.
What did you say? It's kind of like this. I mean, most people don't like this. They change the channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love it or leave it, pal.
Yeah. You ain't got to be here.
Love it or leave it.
I mean, let me ask you this. Do you do much Walmart shopping?
Very little.
Okay. When's the last time you've been through the self-checkout?
The last time when I go, it was probably 3 weeks ago.
Well, they've turned up, apparently, the sensitivity on the scanners, meaning you better not be swiping and scanning too fast. Otherwise, it's going to come up and say that something wasn't scanned, and they're going to come over there and swarm you.
I bet they won't.
I didn't say like
Yeah.
swarm you as in tackle you. I mean like swarm you to come over there. No, they pull video back up to look at it to see.
Wow.
And I'm like, has it really come to this? I mean, that does defeat the whole purpose of self-speedy checkout, does it not?
That gets dangerously close to harassment.
I'm telling you what they're doing. It happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
How many items did you have?
20-ish.
Okay.
But I mean, here was the thing. I don't scan them things fast because I know how those scanners are. And a lot of times you'll run something over them and you'll hear some other one beep and think you scanned it. So I take and make sure, I don't want to be bothered. And that thing come up and said that something happened. They come over and pull that thing up and video, watch it. They saw I scanned it and it was sitting right there. It was already on the screen scanned.
Wow.
They still watched it.
Man, that'd be a problem.
Now, it didn't take them,
Yeah, nah.
30 seconds, but I mean.
It'd be like, look, either you do it or I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It makes it, I have no problem doing it.
Yeah, if y'all
But if you don't think I'm doing it right, you do it.
Here's my thing. I think I saw this one time. I want to know where to send the invoice for checking myself out at Walmart.
Yeah.
Or because here's my thing. If it's going to be like that, then like you just said, y'all check me out.
Do you know how many problems I had at Knox's Grocery?
None.
0.
Yeah. You mean problems anybody had at Wayside Grocery? 0.
You could squeeze the Charmin too.
You ever have any problems out at Mr. Ashton's ponds when you was trying to go fishing out there? No.
No, I went with Pendergrass and Huff. I've only had one problem fishing in my life. That's okay.
Hey, listen, I got a story I'll tell about that, but we'll tell it another time. Shark, we got to get out of here.
There'll be another day. It's been a great Monday morning. Appreciate everybody being in with us. You have some time to waste tomorrow. Get back in here and we'll do it again. Hope you have a good week, safe week. Shop local as you can, even if it's a self-register. And be ready for the audit. Y'all have a good one.